we have a new guest. If you guys don't know him, he is known as the Mechanic, Mr. Jerome Mickles. What's going on, Jerome?
What's up, motherfuckers? You know I'm not FCC approved. I don't know why I thought it was about to be some censorship going on in this bitch.
What's that music in the background over there? What are you listening to? Nas or something?
Nah. Let me turn you guys off in the background. You're all in like a tablet, and I'm cleaning the house and disinfecting because of COVID. Shit is annoying, bro. I've turned into a full-time fucking janitor. I can get more cleaning gigs than fights. The fuck is going on in here?
So what would you like to talk about, my friends?
Just so you know, you're in trouble because he's another one of my favorites.
Oh,
another one.
Oh, God.
Another one.
Listen, Errol, I ain't gonna lie. Anthony knows me personally. Like, he tells me before every amateur fight, he's refereed for about 3 out of...
One of his last fights.
So hold on one second.
One of his last fights, he almost had to hold me back because almost killed his opponent.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Were you reffing that fight?
I was reffing that fight, and the damn fighter kept running away from him, okay? And it got to the point where I got so damn pissed off. After taking a point, this guy was doing yoga and stuff in the corner, and it got to the point where I just said, the hell with it, you're done. And, I mean, it got to the point where Jerome actually was waiting for me. I know he was waiting for me to shoot in on this kid. I know it was going to happen.
So let me get this straight, Jerome. Because he's one of your favorites and you're one of his favorites, you're going to tag team against me. You and the power animal.
No.
I didn't say that.
I'm not the you can't beat him, join him, jump him guy. I'm the I'll whoop your ass myself. But Anthony is one of my favorite. I have like 3 WKA reps that I fuck with heavy. And then I got some that I don't even like. Like, they know I don't want them around me. Like, you know what's crazy? A lot of people like Big Dan. I don't like Big Dan. He makes me nervous. I took a last-minute fight for Maverick, and I hear about the weight cut conversation you guys are having. Yes, as an athlete, you're contracted, but physically, when you put yourself mentally and try to go through hell and back, nobody can really tell you how easy it is to make the weight. You contracted to make it. That shit sounds good, but a lot of us are not getting $1 million to make boxing money. So maybe you got work, maybe you have kids. It's not easy to make a weight cut in a full life. It's not. When you're like these younger guys I get to fight, because I'm 32 now, I made 32 in April. When you get these guys that are 21 and eligible to fight everybody else, a lot of these motherfuckers got mommy money. So they're home all day, especially a lot of guys I get paired up with are Long Island kids who are, no, it's going to sound racial, but this is the reality. You're allowed to stay home till you're like 40. When you're a certain race and your parents were well off. In my generation, my bracket, you got to go get it from the age of 12 and up, where we're at. So I'm not at home all day. I don't have the luxury of being in the gym all day. I'm usually working. Like, I come from 12-hour bartending shifts, and because I have the key to my former gym, I was able to train at 4 in the morning. That's why I may wait a lot of times. I just left Queens as Striking 101 as my gym maybe about a year now. I've been away from them for a year, and I'm now training out of BK MMA over there with Terry Gold and I feel better. I feel phenomenal. I feel more powerhousing. Like, I'm wrestling more. My striking has always been there, but I'm like, I need the ground game. And the weight cut thing is not easy. Like, no matter where you go, like, a lot of people don't understand that. Like, the fans, especially the casual fans, RCB, just make it happen. I'm like, yeah, well, your ass eats carrots for 2 weeks and be vegan only just to make weight, because that's what I have to do. My body type doesn't allow me to gain a lot of fat. So I maybe burn 6 pounds of fat, and then the rest is all damn muscle.
So you said that you switched gyms and everything. Do you have something lined up, or is there something tentatively coming up?
I was lined up 12 times. No, like, that's just exaggerated, but like, fucking Maverick had me booked for 3 different months, and since this COVID shit has taken place, the first one my opponent pulled out.
That was in PA, right? That was in Pennsylvania.
Was interested. It was scheduled originally in November.
But it's in Pennsylvania.
This is when the first scares came out. So then after November, we got pushed to late March 28th. And then it got canceled again. So I hear Shorty right before me. I heard her situation. I was like, that's how we all feel. We all waiting around for work. And a lot of us are trying to keep in shape and stay ready when you get ready. But life also hits you. Like, I got my weight down to 170. That way I can be 10 pounds away from this catch weight fight for Maverick. I put on another 15 pounds being home and less being in the gym, Mm-hmm. I just ordered at least $1,000 of equipment from Blaze Pods, et cetera, to keep me active. This shit is not easy to do at home, especially if you don't have the luxury of the garage gyms and everything else. So the hearsay fans, you know how I feel about them. The casual fans and the guys you got to cut the way, they can fuck off. I'm serious. Like I'm not here for the fans. I'm here to make a future for my kids. If I have genuine followers that fuck with me, and there's quite a few. I have people that are in different states that will come out to my fight. I have people that live in this state and will go any state I fight. So I'm not here to make casual fans. I'm here to leave a mark, make some money, make some legacy, and then get the hell out while I can. This whole year off sucks. I'm not going to lie. I can only imagine what every other fighter is dealing with because I've been waiting to put my hands on somebody.
Growing as a fighter, and I've watched a couple of your fights, and I know a little bit about you. You've come to the studio. We've argued about MMA. We've argued about other things. What is it like being a father? And a lot of people... I've talked to Frankie Edgar off air, and he's a father of 3 kids. What is it like being a father and mixing it up with really being a professional fighter?
It's a gift and a curse. And I don't mean my kids at curse. I'm saying this because people are here to take it wrong. So as you guys know, I'm like on my 26th fight of my career. I fought like 14 times in the amateurs. First underground with Peter Storm, then Knife, where I met Anthony, New York, which is New York Fight Exchange. Then I went up to, I was blackballed so long by Jersey, I had to go to Premier FC in Boston or Massachusetts, wherever the hell it is, just to get approved as a pro so nobody else can tell me no. Because once you get your license, it's like there's no legality issues. I only had one issue. And I heard you say about the commission in Connecticut recently since the pros. That guy's an asshole.
Oh, you're talking about Mike Mazzulli over in Tribal.
I can't stand him. I can't. They can, whenever Bellator calls, if it's not New York, Long Island, or anywhere else, don't call me for Connecticut. Because I want to go out there, and it was a whole scandal I was tied up in for nothing because of that asshole. I'm not even going to lie. Like, we'll get into that in a minute, but being a parent, it is a beautiful thing and a gift and a curse at the same time because there's days where I really have to balance out what gets sacrificed. There's training gets sacrificed, and there's parenting gets sacrificed. And that's a real live decision I have to make a lot of times where it will leave a bad taste in my kid's mother's mouth where it's like, damn, we were on good terms, but you don't understand I'm trying to get something bigger done. And then it's become where now it's an understanding that this is about them because every death waiver, every insurance policy, for every fight contract, the boys' names is on there. Not their mothers, not their grandparents, the boys' names, with one appointed attorney for the parties so they can get anything sooner if they need it. Like, this is not for a hobby. So when you got kids, there's a lot of different things factoring. Some people think they're distractions. My kids happen to be my motivators. By my, 4th pro fight and my 3rd pro fight, I fought Gambit Namavea, if I'm pronouncing that right. Sambit or Gambit Namavea.
Don't worry, I pronounce names just as bad as you do.
Yeah, ask Errol how to pronounce it.
I'm from New York. We only speak 2 Englishes, Errol. Good English and bad English. And this is coming from a half-bred Puerto Rican. Like, you understand? Like, we don't speak well English, okay? We speak good and bad. So I fought him, and then by the 2nd round, the weight cut killed me so much because, as you guys know, I debuted pro at 170, and I realized a lot of sandbagging goes on in this sport. A lot of weight class jumping that shouldn't be allowed. Like, you know, at 170, I'm really getting the natural 190s and the 205s. The guys that don't want to bang with their own bracket. And it's a disgusting thing because at 170, you can tell when they rehydrate. You look at their legs, you're like, damn, that's not genetics. That's at least another 10 pounds that he dehydrated. You know, you look at different things. So I had to go down to 155 where it's at least even for me because the guys are short and powerful and fast. And I'm tall, long, and I hit hard. So it's like, it's a little bit of a matchup for me. It's fair enough. The only thing I have to keep working on is wrestling because a lot of guys I fight are like 5'7" and under. They don't got to slip a jab. They stand right under it. And I'm 5'11" in 155. So until they officiate a 165 bracket, this is where I'm going to be at. And the weight cut was so bad for me that my kid's mother at the time, Kamar's mother, the baby that I brought to the studio, his mother had to get me out the bathtub almost because I had to do the bathtub cut in Atlantic City. And there's just so much politics with that. You know I'm always going to speak my mind. I'm a filter. Some people are like, oh, don't hire him because of his mouth. I'm going to say what the fuck I feel. I got to sign my life over and almost die. I should be able to say how I feel. You know, fighting in Atlantic City is not always lucrative. Sometimes it's just for your resume. Sometimes it's to push you in the direction of Bellator. Because fighting in Atlantic City is how I got the Bellator fight. It just wasn't making me any money either. Like them, oh, you can sell tickets. No, my job is to put hands on people. A promoter should promote and sell tickets.
That was a Ring of Combat fight, right?
It's so fucking true. Yeah, you got to sell yourself, but I shouldn't be focused on salesmanship when I have a hard job at hand. And people say, oh, it's not that hard. Yeah, well, you've ever been in a cage 15 minutes and your heart feel like it's jumping out your chest and you fighting constantly no matter how tired you are? But this goes back to the point of kids. Second round with Gambit, I was really winded, like so badly from the weight cut, dehydrated. I felt like my heart was going to give out. And the doctor comes in and checks on me because that's how tired I am. And I'm like, I'm good, bro. I'm just tired. I'm still going to go another round. We didn't sacrifice 90 days. I didn't have arguments with my kids moment about being in the gym 6 days a week and parenting through those 6 days as best I can. You know, you understand? Like, there's a lot of sacrifices and balancing you have to try to learn when you're a parent. And yes, nobody made me be a parent. I chose to be one. I made my own bed. I choose to lay in a bed I make. That's fine. But I don't have the same luxuries as other guys that get to stay in the gym all day. So the weight cuts are very difficult. And when you have your kids, they can either motivate you or break you. And when I look at them, I always find extra energy because I'm not okay with mediocrity. I just paid $1,600 for a fucking fur in the middle of COVID. You know why? Because I work my ass off all year round, whether it be fighting or working. So with my kids, I look at them and I get an extra energy. I get extra boost. I get extra aggressive. I'm like, motherfucker, only one of us is walking out this cage. Even if I lose, everybody can always say, I've always walked out. I ain't been stretched out yet. And that's got to be something. Somebody loves me. At 26 fights, I ain't never been walked out. I never had to get the smelling salt cute. So, you know, the kids can be a gift. They can be a curse. Depends how you learn how to balance it. I look to my kids for inspiration. Second round, my coach, John at the time, is John Ruiz, and he's cursing me the fuck out in the middle of the corner. He's like, what are you doing? Do you want to win? Remember, Hunter was just born. He's talking about my youngest son. My son was born the week before the fight. And when he's like, do it for Hunter. Do it for Roman. Like, you better do it for your kids because if you don't win this, that extra fight bonus money you think you about to get is gone, and you need it. Kids is the motivation for me, at least. And I gotta fire up under my ass, and I scored enough in the second round for me to get the unanimous. So, I mean, for the people with kids, look to your kids like they're the sun. You can get energy from the sun if you in it. If not, I don't know what else to help you because when I put hands on you, you're going to need God.
We've been arguing about the Justin Gaethje, Tony Ferguson fight. And I just want to know your take before we let you go because we have to, you know, go through Anthony's parlay of the fights tomorrow. So I can't wait to hear his parlay. But
it's not wrong for people to win money.
Well, you screwed Jeff for $5,000.
Listen, Ferguson screwed us all. Ferguson screwed us all. Ferguson screwed us all. You can't tell me that I'm the only one who got that pick wrong.
Here's my thing with the Tony Ferguson and the Gaethje situation. There's truth and there's an unspoken truth about fighting. Yes, it's true. You're contracted, you're a professional, you're supposed to be prepared. But let's be real. If Jordan did tape on the Jazz and he faces the Lakers because they swapped out the Jazz the week of or maybe a few weeks out, that's not the same game plan. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, with some camps, unfortunately, you got to be real. Like, some camps are more pinpoint focused. Like, for me, there's camps where we only work on defense, on jiu-jitsu, and takedown and scrolling because everybody knows I love to stand and bang. I can finish with a submission, believe it or not. I get to grapple with guys like McCruz from Brooklyn MMA, you know, Anthony Snipe George. I get to work with Whitney the Bully. So I get a lot of guys that throw me around, and I work against it. Like, even with sacrificial judo throws, most people don't know I have a judo background. I can grapple. I don't like to grapple, bro. We suffered and starved 90 days. You didn't eat for 90 days. You didn't fuck for 90 days. No drinking, no marijuana, and you want to hump and score points like it's the NCAA wrestling tournament. Mm-hmm. That shit is corny to me. And unfortunately, that's what happened to Tony. He signed up, you sign up. You can't complain. If they swap out, you're still getting paid, so you got to show up. And the reality is, he was not ready for Gaethje because I've never seen Ferguson get turned around by certain hits. I've never seen that. I've seen him train his back and go for a crazy elbow or something. Like, he turned away from a lot of big hits like, oh, shit, this is a different power. And people are saying, well, Khabib would have did the same. No, Khabib would have humped and scored. We all know this. Khabib doesn't throw bombs. And when he punches, it's barely enough punching power to put anybody else. To think about it. Michael Johnson, he didn't really put out. He abused with the wrestling and the ground and pound. Conor, he abused with the ground and pound. And it's never really the matter of, oh, the wrestling is so good. It's it's an equilibrium that a lot of people are not paying attention to. Like, if there's a great wrestler and you're winded from keeping him off your ass for the first 2 rounds, good luck surviving 3 more rounds at 5 minutes of pop with no real rest. 1 minute rest of 5 minutes. So, like, we have to open our eyes to both aspects. I don't think it was an unjust matchup, but I just don't think he was prepared for that fight.